We are currently in the golden age of Premier League football. It's an undeniable sense that we're in a sweet spot, full of incredible stories and a good balance of teams for the first time in a long time. There were 1,246 Premier League goals last season, which was more than ever, and the three-way battle for the top of the league was unbelievable to watch. But there's no reason to think that last season was a one-off. In fact, this year could be the most exciting yet. For this to be the best season in Premier League history, we need the jeopardy of another title battle that goes to the wire. And thankfully for neutrals, there's a good chance of that. Manchester City look like they're on the wrong side of a dynasty, and Pep Guardiola has yet to decide on his future with the team. Their record-breaking fourth consecutive Premier League title and sixth in 7 years gives the impression of a monopoly at the top, of an immovable force that simply cannot be beaten. That would be an overreaction. For the first time in a long time, Man City are arguably in a more vulnerable position than at any other point in the Guardiola era. Motivation could be an issue for the players just as it is for the manager. With no mountains left to climb, how can Man City maintain their competitive edge when hungrier, younger opponents Arsenal and Liverpool are chasing them down? A team like Arsenal has been on their heels for years, and this could be the one year they win it all. A better left back could stomp out careless dropped points in games where Arsenal could have picked up 3 points instead of 1 last year. Their new signing, Calafiori, is a powerful defender and is a defensive patch-up Arsenal needed and could be the difference in making up the gap to Man City. True Arsenal fans can already feel that this could be their year. The last 5 years of the Klopp era was when Liverpool rediscovered their mojo as a cup team, while they only finished outside the top 3 on 1 occasion. The Reds do have a wealth of attacking options besides Salah ready to chip in with goals. Big things are expected of Cody Gakpo following his fine Euro 2024 showings with the Netherlands, and if it's ever going to happen for Darwin Núñez at Anfield, this probably has to be the season. Newly appointed coach Arne Slot has argued people shouldn't get too caught up in trying to work out his preferred formation, and it really does look like Liverpool are going to play a 4-2-3-1 featuring a double pivot in front of the back four and a number 10 tucked in behind the main striker. One of the big positives of Liverpool's campaign last year is that so many youngsters took full advantage of the opportunities offered to them by Klopp. However, Liverpool fans are obviously praying for a surprise title triumph. But it would be a lot to ask from a new manager inheriting a squad that hasn't been strengthened since finishing third last season. Newly appointed Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca is known for doing a lot with a little. This Chelsea squad is not much to write home about compared to previous seasons and could be fighting an uphill battle. The club has brought in 9 new players, leaving the team with little experience playing with one another. It could start rocky, and seeing the Blues in a decent hole to start the year would not be surprising. Costing 88.5 million euros despite scoring just 9 goals, the criticism for Mykhailo Mudryk last season came quickly. After going scoreless for 657 minutes of Premier League action across 12 appearances, critics promptly claimed him as one of the worst signings the previous year. But under new management and a handful of months of experience under his belt, we think Mudryk could live up to the price tag and find footing within the new system. Which team will shock the league this season? Comment your answer below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more football content. Those in the category just below, with outside hopes of European qualification, have also never been this good. Teams like West Ham, Fulham, and Brighton are exceptionally well managed by historic standards, and have players easily good enough. This, again, adds to the excitement, not only because it makes mid-table matches engaging even when there's little riding on them, but because it helps stabilize the top end. People have always said there are no easy matches in the Premier League. That hasn't always been true, but it is now. It also means we could get a surprise contender to further break up the Big Six. The arrivals of Aaron Wan-Bissaka and others on West Ham are so good, it's increasingly hard to see a quality difference between West Ham's squad and that of Newcastle's or, say, Aston Villa. Every single club is interesting, and that's amazing for the league. And when we look at the bottom of the table, we see excitement there as well. Last year's battle was shaping up nicely for a while before it became apparent the bottom 3 that were going down. The bottom 3 accrued a combined 66 points, the lowest in Premier League history, which allowed Nottingham Forest to stay up with a record low 32 points. Southampton and Leicester City have strong teams, while Ipswich Town have the flexibility, momentum, and self-belief. If Man City are found guilty, it will be the heaviest penalties ever imposed by the Premier League. They could quite possibly be expelled from the league or given a massive points deduction upward of 70 points. A huge fine will also be imposed so that they're not in the Premier League next season. The hearing into the 115 charges of breaking financial fair play regulations they were hit with by the Premier League back in February 2023 is expected to start later this year. It could be that a verdict is known before the new campaign is over in May, and all their rivals are watching with interest. There's a lot more things that need to be covered, and at the moment, there will possibly be millions of pieces of paper being passed around between the two sides. The pressure is on the Premier League to prove this one, and I think it's going to be very difficult for them to prove the most serious allegations. Never before in Premier League history has it been so unpredictable who will qualify for the UEFA Champions League for the 2025-26 season. It's created tension, instability, and even chaos, particularly at clubs whose historic entitlement to a seat at the top table is under threat. It wasn't long ago that the same few teams repeatedly secured the top four, but that's now done with. Aston Villa, who finished 4th last season, have continued to strengthen over the summer with one of Europe's best coaches in charge, and we think it's one of the more interesting stories around. Manchester United and Chelsea are equally fascinating, and both face moments of reckoning. With fierce competition, standout performances, and unexpected twists, it's clear we're witnessing something special. As we look ahead, one thing is certain. This Premier League season is proving to be a roller coaster of emotions, a showcase of incredible talent, and a testament to the league's unparalleled global approach. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for weekly videos, and let us know in the comments how you think this year's league will go.